Good morning, students. Today we are going to talk about the animal life cycle, as that's going to be our science subject that we are going to study for today. Yay! I hope you are all in a good condition. We are going to start our class. Let's study. What are we going to study? Take a look at. Right, we are going to observing the life cycle of the animals. The life cycles of the animal. What is the life cycle of the animal? Okay, but before we go to the life cycle of the animal, we have to know first what is a life cycle. So a life cycle simply means the stages of life. For example, a human life cycle would be like this. So you study the picture. So we started with a baby. From the baby, then we go to the child. From the child, we go to adolescence or adult one. And then after that, we become the elderly. Yes, so life cycle started from the first time that we were born until we get old. That's right. Now we continue. The next one. Okay. In here, I would like you to put your opinion. What is your opinion? Do you have any idea what is life cycle in animals? If you already know the life cycles in a human being, so is there any difference? So what do you have in your mind? So I would like you to write it down in this our class point. So you write it down. I will open the word cloud. So you're going to put your ideas. Then I'm going to wait for you. What you say about that? Okay. We continue now. Okay. Right. Some of you has already answered. Good. Alright. Now we go to the life cycle. Look at the study, this life cycle of the cat. So the cat started the life cycle, start from the grow on the old cat, right? And then they get birth with kittens, and then the kittens grow to the adult kittens, and the adult kitten grow up to the old one. So this is the life cycle of the cats. Make sure that take a look at the condition of the cat. So the face of the cat since the beginning that they get birth, look at they have the face, the what do you call this, the feet, which is the same for, and then you can see that the body, the face doesn't change much, right? So they just changes in the size. The appearance, the cat's appearance are still the same. Now we go to the next one, and then study also this one. Take a look at this hand. What can you observe? Okay, what can you observe? The hand started from the old hand, the mature hand, and then lay eggs, and then from the eggs it's broken, so birth into the chicken, and the chicken become the adult, the chicken young hen, and then it become the old one. This is a life cycle of them. Notice that there is a different, right, from the eggs and then turn into the chicken. Now look at the chicken grow with the same, appearance, quite same appearance, but they just different in the size, right? Now look at. So we can assume that life cycle of the animals is the stages that animals go through from the first time that they birth until they die. They died until for the first time they birth until they die. So that's we call that the life cycle, the stages that animals go through from the first time until they die. Right, now I would like to know, okay, this is my question to be answered in multiple choice. So make sure you put the code, right? And put the code and then choose what is the cycle of growth of the animals. The cycle of growth of the animal from the baby until the mature one is called, it is an animal growth, it is the life cycle of the animal, or it is the animal developing. Okay, grab your phone and then answer the question. Okay, we are going to discuss your answers later on. We go on. Okay, if I put it in here, so animal life cycle is the stages of life which has been through any living things. So they are divided into two. The first one is metamorphism, with the metamorphosis one, and the other one is without metamorphosis. The example of the metamorphosis are the butterflies, mosquito, frogs, flies, and then without metamorphosis, we call that chicken, cat, deer. So what's the difference? What is the difference? What is metamorphosis? What is the one with not metamorphosis? So as we know, previous one, we go on with the example. So like this, the squirrel, right? So the animal without metamorphosis do not undergo any significant changes in their body shapes, in their body appearance. So take example of the cat and then also the previous hen. They don't have any significance. So the appearance are the same when they kitten until they grow into the adult cat. So the appearance are quite the same, right? So that's tupai, right? If you observe, have you ever seen the squirrel? We call it bahasa tupai, right? Okay, let's take a look at observe. Okay, now we know it. So the metamorphosis, the life cycle with the metamorphosis. There are two kinds of the metamorphosis. There is a complete or the perfect metamorphosis. The complete metamorphosis. The animal body shape at the bird is very different from its adult form, while the imperfect metamorphosis, body shape of the animal at the bird is not too different from the shape when they get matured. So take a look at, we see that. So if the animal shape or their body is undergo insignificant changes when they get mature, then we call it the perfect metamorphosis or imperfect metamorphosis. Right, so this is the question that you have to think about. Well, I'm going to give you some examples. You grab it and then we discuss it later, right? Okay, we have take a look at, this is the example of the perfect metamorphosis from the butterfly. So the butterfly come from, look at, this is the mature one, lay the eggs, and then the eggs turn into the warm one. The warm one turn become the pupa, and the pupa can become this one, like this one, and then they become the grow the mature butterfly, the young butterfly, sorry. This is happen like, take a look at, in which part of the, you can use your slide drawing, now you can start, in which part of the stages of the butterfly that give disadvantage or harmful for the farmer, because they tend to broken the farmer's paddy field, for example. So what is it? Which one? And then this also, the perfect metamorphism can be happen to the frogs. Look at the example. So it started from the eggs, it turned into like this, turn like a tadpole, and then become the young pole. From the first time they burn, that the frogs burn, it is different shape, different appearance, is very significant different. From the first time they burn until they get old is very different. So that's why we call this a perfect metamorphosis. This happened also with the flies. Study this, take a look at, right? And then this happens also with the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes start with the eggs become the larva become the pupa, and the pupa become the adult. This is also the example of perfect metamorphosis. Alright, so I already mentioned you the name. Do you still remember? Can you name 3 animals with the perfect metamorphosis? Give me your short answer. Write it down. Okay, if we already come to the perfect metamorphosis, now we come to the imperfect metamorphosis. What are they? Why we call that imperfect? Because for the imperfect metamorphosis, the life cycles of the animal is not really different though. It's not really significant, not like in the perfect metamorphosis. Look at this animal. Do you know what animal is this? Cricket. Yeah, that's correct. So we call it it is started with the egg, and then the egg lays into the nympha, which is the smallest one, nympha, and the nympha become the adult one. This is the imperfect metamorphosis. This also with the life cycle of the cockroach. As you can see, start from the egg, nympha, the very baby one, the young one of nympha, and then become the mature nympha and then the old one. This is the life cycle of the cockroach. And then we come up with the life cycles also with the ladybug. Okay, this is the same like that one, right? Imperfect one. Also come with the, what do you call this? The imago and then become the nympha, right? So started with the egg and then nympha and then imago. This one also happened with the dragonfly, also imperfect. It's example of imperfect metamorphosis. Okay, so I hope you already gathered the material for today. If you understand, you can choose the yellow one, said it that you understand the materials. If you still doubt in between whether you understand is not really understand, for example, so you can put the ragu-ragu or in doubt, the gray one in here and a dark gray here. If you really don't understand, let me know. Okay, so you choose one. If you still, for example, not really sure about the material, so perhaps we're going to go through and then we're going to review the materials again for the next one. Thank you.